Hi, I'm Steve Parker from Fidens. Here is your craft beer and brewing tip of the week. Yeast is very important when you're brewing this style of beer. Our house yeast, the house that we brew 95% of our beers, is A72 from BSI. That is the yeast that we find that gives us the best expression of hops. It gives us a nice yeast expression, but without being too much, and then it just allows the hops to really shine in the beer. I feel that's the most important part. If you're drinking hoppy beer, you want to smell and taste the hops. Some yeast that we have used, the yeast expression was too high, and it just kind of gets muddled, and it wasn't something that we liked. So we stuck with A72 has been with us. I homebrewed with that. They sent me a sample of it. I homebrewed with it, loved it, and that was the first yeast that we used. I didn't tell anybody what our yeast was when we started, and it was funny to listen to everybody try to guess what it was. It was Conan or London Ale or whatever, but it was also a yeast that not a lot of people were using at that time. So I thought it was important that we try to make a beer that did not taste like everybody else's beer. That was very important to me. We have used other yeasts, but it doesn't give us the mouthfeel, the color of what we're looking for. Our house yeast interacts really well with Nelson and Citra, any of the New Zealand hops, Galaxy, to give us that bright, beautiful color that we want in our beer, and allowing the hops to express themselves. The reason we chose our house yeast is, for one, it was the flavor profile of the yeast itself. We feel that the yeast is a little bit different, provides a little tartness to our beer that we enjoy as well, which kind of helps maybe with the sweetness level. That tartness maybe gives a little bit of that perceived dryness as well, which we like. We found that this yeast was, it's not known for making hazy beer, but when we did our process, when we made our hazy beer, the haze level is outstanding. We have had cans that we have opened, 6-7 months down the line, and the haze is just still there. Sometimes it's with some yeast that eventually will drop out eventually, but I think yeast plays a part, and I think grain bill plays a part. I think it comes down to a lot of the hops that you use. If you use hops that are high oil content, for us is huge. Those are the ones that make it into dry hop. If we took a sample of pre-dry hop beer, it's pretty clear. It's not very hazy at that point. It's when the dry hops are added, then you really start to see that haze really come through. So the hops that you use during dry hop is what really, in a combination with the yeast and the hops, is what really drives that haze. We've had multiple yeasts going in the brewery at the same time. We have pulled samples and they all look pretty similar pre-dry hop, and then we dry hop them and they're all different. So, very different, and we have just found that our house yeast, the haze, the hop expression, the yeast, the flavor that the yeast provides is something that we really like. To learn more about brewing Hazy IPA, click the link below.